Hey, Ken here, web designer for coaches. I'm over at coachingsitesthatwork.com. And in this video, I'm going to look at Danielle Loesch. I'm going to look at her website, and she has a question about it. And I'm going to respond to the question, and then hopefully everyone's better because of it. Okay, Jennifer, let's have a look at your website. In our Facebook group, you asked me to like my opinion, and it's still work in progress. Whose website, whose life, whose business is not a work in progress? You tell me. Um, you would love an opinion. It's a work in progress. You have info about yoga classes. So you made a sub page on the menu for coaching, but still have the coaching info on your home page because that was originally the main purpose of the website. Anyways, thanks. So you might have a little bit of identity issue of your website, serving two purposes, yoga and coaching. That's a potential area of confusion. And when it comes to coaches' websites or any websites, confusion is the website killer. Okay, so let me just pop it open and let me share some opinions, and then have a look at this subpage menu item. Danielle. Okay, Danielle. Here's your website. Inner Insight Coaching. Some things really quickly. Great. The logo's in the corner, not too big. I like it. It's obvious and readable. And the menu is simple, top right, great. And the labels are great. Coaching, yoga, testimonials, about me, contact, and login. Now, coaching and yoga could work on the same website if you're, and I can see it working like this. If you have a local following in your neighborhood, town, or city, and you promote, network, and you build your following heavily that way, and you have this coaching and yoga services you've got a lot of trust in the local environment, and you do an in-person yoga thing. I can see it easily working where you're meeting people, and they start to you speak with some of your clients, yoga clients, and then they become coaching clients because they trust you, and you have a way of talking to them about their challenges as a coach. I can see it working. If you're doing this online, complete marketing, coaching is online and global, while you spend a lot of your time in a local yoga, doing doing local yoga classes, it's gonna be tough because you'll be spread thin. Unless you're smart about your time, have assistants doing stuff, perhaps. But if your coaching can appeal to a lot of people online, and you're coaching people on anything, insights, um, it's going to be tough because online it's just you're trying to appeal to the entire world, or even it's just there's so much going online. There's so much, I would say, competition, but really to make your website, turn someone who's mostly a stranger into someone willing to contact you is asking a lot. If your website is going to be about yoga and other things, and and the message is more general. Let your stress guide you to peace. So this statement here, that's going to have to do it for someone coming to your website. Is that going to get me? I don't know. That's um, so. Can yoga and coaching be on the same website? I think in the case of it, if you're marketing to a local crowd, like say you had a yoga studio and it was running well, and you ran to a lot of people and they trust you and they get to know you as someone who they can easily speak to, and you can get to their challenges, you can turn them into coaching clients. I don't see why that would be too hard to do. So in that way, I can see them working together. But be careful. You can be spread thin if you're trying to create two different businesses around, one around coaching, one around yoga, and they don't really, your marketing and business model, all this stuff don't really overlap each other in an easy way to do it. So like me, I'm a web designer for coaches, so I help them build websites. I'm a web designer, and so I do a lot of that, but I can easily write a book about it and sell the book. So that's another sort of line of business. but it's still under a same. It'll work with my business model. So coaching, I think, could work. You know, so I think it's just how it could work, as opposed to will it or won't it work. But you said, I think you started with coaching and you added yoga. So that might be weird. Okay, so anyway, that's what you did, as opposed to having a yoga studio, and adding and doing coaching. So I'd have to ask, where are you marketing? What, who are you getting in front of, et cetera, et cetera. If you can make that work, but the big risk is if you have a website about coaching services, and then you try to mix also yoga, you can easily confuse people. And for the most part, most websites that try to mix all kinds of things together, you just get a mess. And when you have a mess, you confuse people, and that's that. So I'm assuming that coaching is probably your mainstay, and assuming that's the case, I would private coaching here, $80 a session, self-trust, self-care, schedule a free intro session. So I don't know what more opinion you're looking for from me on your website, but I'm happy to just share what comes to mind. So let's go back to your website, the homepage. So essentially, with your website, if you want to convert people into coaching clients, it'll take some trust in who you are, and appeal. You must be appealing to them. So if you have a big tribe of people who trust you already, it'll be easier to generate leads. If it's a lot of people who don't really know you, then it's good to have more content to talk about what you do, and to start building that trust. An email list is a good thing to do, because then people can get to know you over time. And positive interactions with you over time is also good for building trust. So if you want your website to use it to attract and engage and generate client leads, I would look to have more content on here, especially about how coaching can help someone. You kind of have like blips and blurbs of content, and nothing's really grabbing me to pull together where I want to read and start to learn about you, and be drawn to be someone who I think could coach me. So I think content will need some attention. If you're all about making easy decisions, reducing stress quickly, finding inner clarity, these are generally things people are interested in. And the message on the general side, I would probably, if I had to work on content on your website, I'd probably start with this. You coach people to, if you have a stressful situation or a confusing decision to make in life, this seems to be something you're been pulling together as a core message here. If life is stressful, if you have a major decision that's confusing, or you're finding life very stressful, maybe you can start with that kind of challenge, and you can try to maybe bring that to the front. I would also like to think about, I would want you to think about the ideal client you're going to run into, who they are, where you're going to find them. And if you don't have answers to that, then it's probably a good time to start getting a little more specific about that. However, if you're going throughout your day and meeting people and engaging them and discovering their personal challenges and then leading them into potential coaching arrangements, then I think your website can just be a support material, and maybe focus around this kind of stuff in your content. Because this kind of covers anyone who's really having a struggle. Life is very stressful, or you have a confusing decision to make. You could center your content around that kind of stuff. How would you do that? I guess there's quite a bit going on with that. I don't really know how to. I just have a lot of questions, I should say, before I suggest what you do with your website and content. I discovered my internal guidance system So this is really a big element of what you're talking about. So maybe teach what that's about. How to tap into your IGS. You might want to have an article on that. Um, but okay, let me put my face up here. I do like the simple layout of your website. You have some nice images. You have mixing coaching and yoga again, which I said I think could work if you had, depending on how the marketing and the business is structured. Um, if you're trying to get coaching clients and that's really your main thing, I think you need to bring about more of the story of the challenge and the struggle that people that you're likely to work with, come across, would face. Again, that piece that I kind of pointed to there, that might be a good place to start headlining around that, or at least looking at that and how you can match that with the way you're getting out and marketing and meeting potential clients. So, it really is just like, how is this all going to work together, and how can you start getting it to work together so that you can start seeing numbers, things happening. Um, but just coming at this generally out of the blue, those are my thoughts. I hope that this has been very helpful. And again, my name is Kenn Schroder. I'm a web designer for coaches. I'm over at coachingsitesthatwork.com. And I help coaches build websites that both the coach loves and the clients love. Okay, so come visit me over there. Lots of stuff there, articles, blogs, etc. Danielle, thanks for sharing your website. If you have any questions, just post them below. Okay, bye.